Bueno, Zumbido, ¿qué tal? ¿Cómo están? Hoy tenemos una charla exclusiva con el Pi que nos va a hablar sobre su último disco y qué es lo que podemos esperar para su visita a Chile y Sudamérica en Lollapalooza. Hello, LP, how are you today?
What's up, man? How's it going, everybody? You
Just fine,
good?
everything fine. Yeah,
Good,
yeah.
good, good.
I wanted to know, first of all, what's the reception of the church has been like so far?
It's been amazing, It's like kind of hard when you're not touring it, you know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
Like the streaming is great. I've been so happy with that response um and all the videos but I need to get out there to like
Uh-huh.
really kind of experience it more, to be honest. I mean, it's like it's been a weird season to put a record out, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I think even if we had time, I probably wouldn't have put it out until maybe this month. You know what I mean? Like, because I didn't know that we didn't know the European tour was pushed at that point. So we put out in December, And I think and everybody's waiting for it, so it's like you feel bad for pulling it.
Yeah. And what was the process of recording it? What
The
was it like?
pro, I mean, it was great. It was, it was a godsend to be honest with you, because of the pandemic and having something to do to like concentrate on and I think if I had put a record out like right before the pandemic started, I would have been like, oh man, what a weird time to miss. So I was able to like, I mean, listen, we're going to be writing the fallout from the pandemic and this time period. I think is going to be like, um, you know, fodder for like lots of songs for a decade. But I think it was nice to be able to include some initial thoughts and musings on this record. Because some songs changed and took shape differently. One Last Time being one of them. Some songs came into existence, like When We Touch, Conversation, stuff like that. So it's like it was something. I feel like it straddles the before and after kind of vibe a little bit, which is nice. And it'll be. I'm already working on another record, so it feels like it's already in the rear view a bit for me, but now I get to tour it, so I'm excited.
Yeah, that's a great part. Now,
Hmm.
talking about the record and the songs, what were your inspirations, like musically, in terms of ideas, lyrically?
Um, I mean, we went a little slinky on some shit here. Like, we did a little like more dancey kind of
Mm-hmm.
stuff, and even like I think I'm considered a pop artist in a lot of countries. Um, like my country, I'm like an alternative kind of indie artist. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I like so it's like um so I like and which I'm fine with. And when I do shows, I'm like it's a rock vibe. You know what I mean? Like I feel like at a show I'm a rock singer.
Yeah.
So it's all confusing always, and I don't really stop myself from doing whatever the fuck I want. So we went eclectic as usual. Yeah.
Great. And talking about the band, how are you getting ready to tour
Well,
the
we
record?
start rehearsals this week. And
Mhm.
yeah, and the band's learning the songs. And then I jump in and we go hard for like I don't know, like 10 days, and then get out there. And, just cross your fingers and fucking
Oh, yeah, of course. And how many people are in your band, like currently?
um. So four dudes and me. Guitar,
Oh,
drums, bass, and multi instrumentalist kind of keyboard MD
uh-huh.
dude, like musical director kind of
Oh,
guy.
yeah, straightforward rock
Totally.
formation of
That's like I said,
band.
it's a fucking rock band, you
Yeah.
know what I mean? It doesn't get more rock than that, you know what I mean? With
Uh-huh,
some screeching motherfucker on top of it.
uh-huh. And
Mm.
from the album, from the songs we can hear in the album to the live show, are there changes within the songs or the sound,
Um,
the form you
Yeah,
perform on?
I try to, especially on we might change some like older shit up a tiny bit, but mostly, I like to go. I don't like people like showing up to a show like dying to hear new songs from the record or songs from the record and then hearing unless like old songs, like I said, it's just like they've heard them over and over again, so maybe a little.
Mhm.
but really I like to like make it sound like the record, as much as I
Great,
can. Yeah.
great. Talking about shows, in 2019, you had your debut in Chile with two sold out shows. Do you remember anything from those nights, on those shows in one night?
Oh yeah, I mean, I loved it. It was like like I think I changed my shirt that was under like a vest that I had at the time, and just so I could tell which ones were which. But it was like, because they were like back to back, and it was dope. I mean, I kind of love doing that. I've done that a couple of times. I did once in Israel as well, and um it's wild, because it's like it's interesting to be in the same venue, same night, and just have a totally different crowd and experience, and but there's something cool about it, they get
Talking
different
about the
things.
Yeah, talking about the audiences, do you feel any like difference from the audience in like South America and
Oh
other
yeah,
parts of the world?
yeah. I mean, also all over South America, like and I haven't, I've only been there once, so I
Uh-huh.
did, I did every place, not every place, obviously, but like the only big place that I didn't do was Brazil, which so Brazil's gonna be my first time at Lollapalooza, and
Right.
but yeah, there was like it was very interesting, even just from like the songs that they sing in the in the crowd. I mean, I think Argentina was the most like 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 it was like us like almost like like what I imagine a soccer game down there to be, you know what I mean, like
Yeah.
where it's like they're very like there's like it had like a more of a sports vibe to it, you know what I mean, like in a great way, I've been playing soccer my whole life, and so like for me, I mean, my dream is to go to a World Cup. I still haven't gotten to it yet. It's like the one time I was really able to go, I was on tour. um but yeah, I love that shit, and it was just like, I mean, honestly, I'm very excited. I think it's gonna be like a lot for my senses, though. You know what I mean? Like, because I'm like, I've been home in my house for fucking 2 years, like,
Right,
like I haven't had a
right.
lot of, I mean, yeah, I've gone out and stuff like that, but and I've done some shows, but I think that like I have this feeling of gonna be like, like, whoa, holy
Have
shit,
you been to other musicians' shows after the couple of
Yeah,
times
have
that
I? No, no big shows, no. Mm-mm, no. No,
small
not
venues?
yet. Yeah, 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 I haven't done that yet.
Yeah, yeah,
Oh
because
yeah, I have. Because when I was in Lollapalooza, in America, I went to Miley Cyrus and I forget some other people, but it was like, yeah, it was kind of dope. But I was also in like the VIP section more, so I didn't feel
right,
like I was
right.
like, yeah, in there with, but it was still like, still people breathing in your face. It was awesome.
Yeah,
Fuck
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. And did you have the chance of watching the reaction of the audience while other people were performing? And
Oh yeah, I mean, people are so excited. I mean, it's a little weird because a lot of people have masks on and stuff. So,
yeah,
which I kind of think like, is that so bad an idea? Like in general,
yeah,
like when you're like standing next to total fucking strangers in general. Like, it's
yeah.
like, cool, man. All right, yeah, yeah, yeah. It's like, I mean, there's something to be said for that in some ways, but yeah, it's. I think there's something about live music that you can't like kind of describe like why we do it, how we do it, you know what I mean? Like again, you're like with strangers,
Hmm.
and the only thing you know about these people are that they like this same thing as you, and the same
Yeah,
person as you, and I mean, I don't I don't consider myself a church, like apart from the idea of churches is like I'm saying like my church is you, like for me my church is like the people that come to see me, like and my love for them, and how musically connecting to them. But like I feel like when I go to see someone, I'm in their church, you know what I mean? Like they're like,
yeah, yeah.
for all intents and purposes, they are on the pulpit like, and then this happened, and like we're all gathered here today to witness
Yeah,
this thing called life, as Prince said, or whatever this, um, and I don't know, man.
yeah.
It's
Like
heady
everyone goes
shit
like,
and it's
yeah.
beautiful. Yeah, I mean, we don't like. I think it's not that we didn't know what we had, but but we kind of, in a way, yeah, we fucking, now we're like, wow, what a privilege,
Yeah,
you know.
we sort of took it for granted. I'm talking
Yeah.
as an
I
audience,
mean,
right?
I even think, all my poor fans in the Ukraine,
Uh-huh.
and Russia too, like as far as like, it's these government fucking things that happen, and the people suffer the most, and just thinking about having to not not bond with these people again that way, because they've
Mhm.
got their much more serious issues on their hands, and it's heartbreaking, that we still have to like deal with this horrible shit,
Exactly.
after all we've been through and learned,
Yeah,
it's like,
that's a bummer. That's like
yeah, it's awful.
we've been through all this, and then
Yeah.
now this.
It's just,
Nothing more.
it's at the whim of like, some, 0.00001% megalomaniac bullshit, you know what I mean? And then you
Mhm.
got, people waiting in line just to fucking eat, and it's fucked up.
Yeah. Talking about changes, like a lot of things changed, like along the last 2 or 3 years. But for you, what has changed for you?
Um, you know, uh, Everything, I mean, how I look at the world is like, you know, um, sometimes you just go like, I mean, I'm always gonna make music. I am, but you just like, you feel like so trivial, because it's like it feels frivolous, sometimes, like again with like people like, you know, like I don't know, it's hard. Like music is like music is an extra thing that we get to do, that, and we have to have it, but it's not life threatening if we don't,
Yeah.
I mean, it is
Mhm.
to many people, but um and in general, I think it's necessary for like a good life, like a good um peaceful sound spirit. But yeah, I just think that I'm just filled with way more, even more empathy and compassion for, like, people that don't get to live in peace, uh
Mm.
and just and how, and the fragility of our existence, I just like that kind of shit,
Totally.
man. I mean, it's very humbling, and I don't know, it's yeah, I think, I think I'm just like maybe not as frivolous of a person, but I mean, if you put me side by side with a bunch of people, you might go like, oh no, you're totally frivolous still, good job, but I don't know, I just uh, sometimes I'm glad I don't have kids, you know, a lot for many reasons. But anyway, not to get heavy, but yeah,
Yeah.
I'm
Well,
can't help but be changed.
I have one last question for you.
What do you got, Lucas? Give it to me.
Yeah. What can we expect from your shows in South America, and
Uh,
especially your show in Lollapalooza Santiago?
my favorite thing to say is nudity and explosions. But not necessarily in that order, but why not? You
Yeah.
know, yeah, fuck it. I mean, seen one, you've seen them all. My,
Well,
but mine, very special, very fucking special.
well,
Yeah,
I'll
I
be
don't know, just
expecting.
good songs, good vibes. It's like, take a little mushroom and walk over to my stage. Do it.
I will be there.
Okay.
Good
Thank you
deal.
so much, man. I
Thank
kid, I
you.
kid. Come sober, come fucked, however you want.
Yeah, exactly.
We accept
Can you,
all whatever they call it, all
well, thank
people.
you for your time and for your answers. And one last
Yeah,
thing I
man.
wanted to ask you is, like, can you invite our viewers to watch the interview on our site?
Hell yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Hi everybody, what's up? It's LP. Come see my awesome interview with Lucas on Zumbido. See ya.